Hi, and before we get to today's episode, we have a quick word from our sponsor. Tired of drinking out of a boring tumbler? Want to make your morning coffee cup one of a kind? Expand with Tipsy Tumblers. You can special order cups, shot glasses, bookmarks, rolling trays for your cigarettes. So you can get one with a picture of a special someone or one with Spider-Man. The options are endless. You can upload your own pictures or pick from her selection of design. With Valentine's Day coming up, this could be a great gift for that special someone, or even just for yourself. Hey, you can use the code GAMES2023 at checkout to save 10%. You go to angelstipsytumblers.myshopify.com. There will also be a link in the show notes. Now on to our episode today.
Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're to another comic episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's in Gotham with me tonight?
It would be the resident Batman expert, Kenneth Sanity, here to wrap up this Arkhamverse.
So we are here to do the last Arkham thing that we're going to do is the Batman Arkham Knight Genesis, the comic miniseries that is a prequel to Batman Arkham Knight that came out, first issue came out, at least what this wiki's telling me, July 29th, 2015, and then ran for 6 months, I'm guessing.
Yep, just a nice 6-issue limited series, acts as a prequel to Arkham Knight, and it's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're done.
Yes.
No more.
Unless we ever redo Arkham Asylum, which I might at some point recover it, but we'll see. Just because I want to replay it again. But nothing new, and that's different. And Arkham Knight came out in June 23, 2015. So this is a month after Arkham Knight came out. They first released this comic, which is a tie-in, which honestly I think makes the game better, in my opinion.
I would agree. It definitely gives more depth to the character of Arkham Knight. But at the same time, if you read this before you play the game, it does spoil some things.
Yeah. But to be honest, like when I first saw trailers for Arkham Knight, I knew who the Arkham Knight was. So
look, man, like not everybody knew.
No, I know.
Yeah, I knew, and you knew, and most everybody I talked to knew, but my mom didn't know.
No, this is a good
read Batman, but
this is a good after thing to have after you play through the game. So this is written by Peter J. Tomasi. The artists are Allison Borge and Dexter Soy. That's how you say it. Those are them. And so this is a free comic that I was kind of interested in reading, but then I kind of fell off. I was like, I don't know, but just you bought it. So I was like, here we are. But I do got to say that the cover of the Arkham Knight of this little Arkham Knight Genesis book, I really like the cover. The first issue with the Arkham Knight on the cover. I really like that. I just got to say that. I also like it so much that I was at a toy swap yesterday and I bought a Arkham Knight Funko Pop out of the box for $5.
Ooh, fancy.
I don't like out-of-the-box Funko Pop, but for $5, I'm like, it's the Arkham Knight. I'm like, yeah, we're going to talk about it like fucking so I bought it for $5.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll be honest with you. This book really makes me appreciate the character of Arkham Knight more. I never thought I'd say that.
It adds a lot more in-depth story to Arkham Knight that I felt would made Arkham Knight better for me. There will be spoilers for Arkham Knight. I'm sure there will be spoilers for this comic, obviously. So I'm just going to put that out there in case you listen to this and don't expect you're going to get spoiled. You will.
Yeah, we're definitely going to spoil the shit out of everything here.
That's what we do. Like, the first issue kind of also threw me for a loop, and I liked it, too. Like, in the very beginning, you have Hush being attacked by a villain that you never see in the Arkhamverse, Ratcatcher. I'm okay with it.
Very good reason for that that you never see Ratcatcher.
I honestly don't know anything about Ratcatcher other than he was in a version of him. His daughter essentially was in the Suicide Squad movie.
Yep, that is correct. Ratcatcher is basically just like Gotham's Pied Piper. Okay. Like he controls all the rats, and the rats are fuzzy little bastards apparently. And like the art in this is not pleasant. Like you see. There are already 2 dead cops on the scene, one of whom is eaten in half. There are guts hanging out. You got another cop who got his face eaten off. Like, it's not great. It's pretty dark.
It is, and that's kind of what threw me off, too, like how dark it was, and the fact that Hush is the first thing you see. I was like, I'm like, Hush? But it's cool. Like, you have the rat catcher trying to kill Hush because he thought it was Bruce Wayne and didn't realize until later, hey, this isn't Bruce Wayne.
Yep. And then, of course, you hear somebody yell rat catcher, and rat catcher immediately assumes, shit, it's Batman.
I like that. It's like, crap, it's the Bat. But then it's
not Batman.
You see a full page of Arkham Knight just hitting him in the nose with his knee and just pretty much murdering him, or close to it.
Yeah, like he messed him up and then throws him to his rats.
They're pretty fucked up.
They're eating his face off while he's talking shit to the Arkham Knight. And then Arkham Knight electrocutes all of them.
Yes, just kills everybody.
Kills all the rats and Ratcatcher.
I like that. Because, I mean, again, it kind of fits what the Red Hood does, where he's killing criminals versus how Batman just keeps arresting them and they keep getting out. So I like that. It shows him, except he's really just, this version of, which is not the Red Hood, but this version of this character is very much trying to kill Batman.
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Batman's got to suffer, and he is very clearly working in league with Hush at this point. And you know this from the game.
Yes. And I like it that you do have Batman show up and he finds all the rats and the charred bodies. Or the charred body of Ratcatcher and the two dead cops, and it's confused.
Oh, yeah. And he has every right to be confused, because some rats are still alive, but a lot of them aren't, and there is very much a dead body of Ratcatcher there.
And this is then where I also felt like this also kind of puts Hush into Arkham Knight, because, I mean, Hush is originally in Arkham City for a small side quest, and this really wraps up his story to kind of put what he's doing. He's working for the Arkham Knight. The Arkham Knight is trying to, hire all these villains, and I like that you have them going to Hush's place, and he has all these bandages, and he throws him a vial of something which is from Clayface to help him with the scars. I really like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, I really appreciate the amount of detail that went into that. We also find out more about Jason Todd's life as a child. And, oh, crap, it is a bad time, y'all.
It really is. Like, his parents are just... And I don't know in other Batman stuff if the parents are as bad as this. I mean, hell, in the actual comic, I know he gets tricked by his mother, who then Joker kills him because his mother tricked him. So they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
But
like, they were bad, but I don't think they were like, here, we had a kid, you can have him wipe our debt clean. Bad. Like, that's a different level of bad.
Yeah, like, they show him trying to give away the kid to mob that they owe money to. Then it shows him as a teenager stealing. I think there's some kind of comment that he pretty much sold out his parents because they were going to kill him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would.
I get it. I completely get it. I mean, they deserved it. I mean, I think they made comments that they were beating them all the time and stuff, and just...
Yeah, no, they're not good people. But then this gets a little weird, because this is where it starts to diverge and become its own thing. In the original comics, Jason Todd is trying to boost the tires off the Batmobile, and that's how Batman finds him.
Yeah. Not
here. Batman's first run-in with Jason Todd is during a fight with a Joker and a Joker mech.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
It's very weird, but you got Jason Todd, like, grabbing the grapnel gun and knocking over the Joker bot, and he's about to kill the Joker when Batman, of course, knocks the gun out of his hand. And
I like it that he saves him. He rescues Batman, gets him out of there, and the fact that he was going to kill Joker, like, that's just, I like that a lot.
Yeah, like, he was just going to kill him right from the beginning, and damn shame he didn't.
Yeah, it would have solved all the problems.
Yeah, but no, he also gets arrested because he had knocked over a store right beforehand. And even though he saved Batman's life, Batman was like, nah, fuck you, you're going to the cops. That's cold-blooded.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it kind of feels like Batman was being manipulative in this point, because it shows that he has him arrested, but then he also does something with a school he has him put into that Wayne is paying for, and then kind of, is training him, and then eventually goes up to him to recruit him as Robin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will say that the Arkham series has never really shied away from the shittier parts of Batman.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
No, I like that. And it really shows, Jason Todd, like it helps show like how he came about. And I like it that it's different. And I like it that you get to see it here. Because like when I was going into this, I mean, they kind of like, I was assuming, hell, I think I assumed this for a very long time until very recently, that Joker had killed Jason Todd, and then, it was the same thing like, as a comic. He went into the Lazarus pits, blah, 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 here we are. But no, this is a different version where he was just, if we find out later, beating the shit out of and tortured.
Oh, yeah. Tortured, brainwashed.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroyed for months.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that'll mess you up. It will. So I've been told.
And then it jumps to issue 2, which I also like, where the first thing you see is Robin, the Robin that you have in the games, fighting Deathstroke, and he's all bloody as hell, and it's really cool the way they do it.
And you got Arkham Knight talking to Deathstroke during this fight with Tim Drake, and it's just great. And he's like, "Yeah, no, that's the other Robin. Hit him again."
And then you have Nightwing show up, and it's cool seeing Nightwing and Robin working together to take on Deathstroke. Not working out super well, but they're trying.
No.
And it's cool to see Deathstroke, because it's cool to see more connections, and it's more of just, because in the game, it really feels like Deathstroke comes out of left field, like he doesn't belong there, he just is there. And I felt that this did a much better job of connecting it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This explains his presence. This explains everything about the game, like where all the soldiers come from, how he gets those tanks up and running. And basically, Deathstroke is a big part of Arkham Knight's plan.
Yeah, and I really like that. And then I like how it has like a small kickback to kind of showing Jason Todd and Batman. They fought it shows them fighting the Scarecrow, and it shows that he's more violent than he needs to be, and he's not following orders.
Yeah, he doesn't shut up. Keeps talking.
Oh yeah, that's what it was too. Yeah, he says things he shouldn't be saying.
Yeah, and before we go too much further away from this, again, I fucking love the Scarecrow design in the Arkhamverse. It's so good. Like, it is just so good. It makes me angry. That's how good it is. I'm angry that I didn't come up with a design this good looking. But sooner or later, Jason gets moved into Wayne Manor, and he gets his own entrance to the Batcave. He and Bruce are having a good old time. But, times don't last.
Interesting how they do it, and this comic jumps back and forth a lot, like showing the fight with Deathstroke and Robin in the present, and then the past of how Jason was as Robin. And it's also, this Batman is very different than the other Batmans that we have. Like, you have a scene where they're fighting, where Robin gets tied up by Deathstroke, the current Robin, and frickin' Batman has some kind of like shocker gun and just shoots him and tases the hell out of him.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
But it's just such a different Batman. And the Arkhamverse is a very dark Batman. It really is.
It's a darker Batman. It's a Batman that's constantly towing the line between I'm really messing these guys up or I am trying to kill them.
Yeah. And then you have a really cool page that has Jason Todd Robin and is showing like all their different battles that they did together, fighting Poison Ivy, Clayface, Zaz, Two-Face, and the 2 one-armed goons that you fight in Arkham City, and I think it's Killer Croc in there. And it's just really cool to see, everything that led up to what happened with them eventually, and how much he just disobeyed him. And then, the way that he gets captured, it kind of shows that too, where at some point they're fighting Joker. He drives the Batmobile in the Joker's mech, and then he chases after Joker, and the building blows up, and he thinks Jason Todd died.
Right. And that's where you kind of get your similarity to the original death of Jason Todd in the comics. Like, it's a big explosion. Batman very much has the same pose that he did in Death in the Family.
Yeah, he does.
So I thought that was nice. But then it keeps flashing back to, present day and past, and why Jason is just livid. And then we get to...
Okay, I read it wrong. The scene where he shoots the taser Deathstroke, that's the old Robin.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Jason.
Never mind. Okay, that makes more sense. That he would have got arrested at some point. Okay, then okay. And then it shows the last scene of Deathstroke fighting Robin and Nightwing, and then he escapes because Arkham Knight tells him to get done playing with him.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm on board.
ends with Jason Todd saying he needs to return to the scene of a crime. Oh boy.
I like this. And you see the J on his face. I was surprised. I read these first 2 issues. I'm like, I'm in. I'm like, this is weird. I'm in. Like when we went into this before, we've been planning this for months since we did Arkham Knight. And I'm like, this ain't gonna, fine, we'll do it. It won't probably be great and we'll be done. But I was in. I read 2 issues. I'm like, I'm enjoying myself. I didn't expect.
A lot of where the interest comes from is by having Jason Todd front and center as the main character of this comic, and having Batman just being Batman acting as a Robin, a background person. Like, this isn't Batman's story. This is very clearly the Arkham Knight story.
Yeah.
And that's really clever. Like, I really am glad the way they did that.
Me too. I really liked it. And then, they showed Jason, as you were saying, Jason Todd going back to the scene of the crime. He goes back to Arkham Asylum from the first game. And it's really cool to see that. They talk about how, they have this place, and, he goes, you get to see some of the areas that you saw when you played through the game. And I really liked that. You could kind of, because again, we spent a lot of time in that place in the first game. And, I felt like it did a good job of trying to imitate what it looked like. Like when he gets to the staircase where he was hidden underneath, you have little Joker teeth, which made me laugh because you break those in Arkham Asylum for an achievement and experience. So it's really good.
Yeah. And the cool thing is that they kind of rebuilt Arkham Asylum after everything went down. And it's not finished yet, but they were sloppy. They didn't bother to check underneath and in the foundations. Which
makes sense. And also, it looks like he uses the same gel from the games, too, that he's spraying. I really like that.
100%.
Small touch.
But then you have Jason Todd basically going back to the place where he was tortured.
Yeah.
And you see exactly what happened in the explosion, how there was a drop-away floor, apparently, and once the explosion hit, Joker and Robin just fell for a while, and Joker managed to take him.
Yeah, because they fell and he was knocked out, and he took him into Arkham and then puts a camera on him and just beats the shit out of him and tortures him and tries to feed him rotten food. And I also like how you get to see the old Frank Bolt, the security guard who gets murdered in Arkham Asylum, who, you have him here, showing hey, come on, Joker, next shift change, you got to get back to your cell so people don't notice something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool to see that.
Yeah, it really sets up how corrupt it was back then, how Joker was able to get away with all of this. And it really got in front of all the questions that I was about to ask. Which is good.
And it shows that he's been there for 6 months, and then it has another really cool 2-page spread where you have Killer Croc, Penguin, Two-Face, Bane, Zsasz, Scarecrow, Calendar Man for some reason. They're all punching him.
Yeah, they're all just beating the shit out of him, except for Scarecrow. He's just going
to stare at him.
At him.
It's a really good 2-page spread. It's really cool. I mean, I was thinking, if you get punched by Bane, wouldn't you be just dead? But I guess not.
Nah.
Isn't anybody noticing how Bane bulked back up? But I guess he's always normally bulked, except for the part where he's being, drained of all the venom.
Yeah, see, I don't think he's huge. I think he's just regular big Bane. He's not venomed out Bane.
Ah, okay, good point.
So that's probably why it just really hurt.
But it's pretty fucked up, and I just laughed Calendar Man, because Calendar Man is not really in this series. He's in Arkham City for one part, in a cell. And is he in Arkham Knight at all? Is it an Easter egg, I think? Or just City?
I'm pretty sure it's just City.
Okay, I do know there's a joke in City, or not a joke, Easter egg, that if you go to all the different events that he has where you're supposed to go and visit on certain days, it's different things. And if you set the timer, the clock to a certain date, he's no longer there. He leaves the cell, and there's a note. It was a real hidden Easter egg that they didn't find out. People that no one found. Eventually, Rocksteady just told them, hey, this is what we have to do. Something like that.
Yeah. I feel like there was some reference to him in Night, but I don't think he was there.
Okay. I can't remember. It's been a while. And I like how what Joker does that finally breaks him. He shows Robin a picture of Batman in the new Robin. And that's what breaks Jason Todd finally.
Mm-hmm. Which is extremely fair.
Yeah. And then he shoots him on camera which you would think he killed him, but I'm wondering, did Batman ever see this video? Was this ever in the games, like this video?
No.
Okay.
No, it was just him being beat with the crowbar.
Yeah. Okay. I really like this. I like this touch where it shows you shoot him, or it shows Joker shoot him, and then, it shows Arkham Knight, then he blows up Arkham Asylum and just leaves.
Yep,
Which makes sense.
Completely blows it up, and it's perfect.
It's what it deserved.
Yeah. It's the worst. But then we get into issue 4. And
I want to talk about I like the cover of Harley Quinn in her Arkham Knight outfit, on top of him, and then drawing a smiley face with lipstick in her mouth. I really like that.
that is a good cover.
Yes.
A little creepy.
Yes, but it fits. I really like Harley Quinn in this. In the Arkhamverse. I really like the way they did her character. I know what you're going for, but I still feel like I like it. Maybe I'm not remembering as well some of the bad stuff or some of the stupid shit, but I like seeing her in here again. That's
fair, and she's good in this book. Like, I like her character in the book,
and it's cool to show. Like, it shows that she was involved, obviously, when they were at Arkham, and then it cuts back to present time and shows her robbing a bank or something, and then blowing up the guard. Oh, blowing up the guard to open up the safe.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool to see her again. Like, and it shows her trying to rob a bank, and she got all this money, and it talks about how she's working with the Penguin, and then you have the Arkham Knight show up, which she, again thinks is the Batman, and he's like, I'm not the Batman.
I don't care. You should know who I am. You named me.
I like how it clicks.
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool. And then it jumps back to showing the flashback when she remembers, and it shows her waterboarding him,
which is fun, I guess.
Just
I don't know.
Up.
Yeah, it's messed up.
And then shocking him after it.
A lot of torture. Oh yeah, which is just rude.
And then they give him. I thought this part was strange. They give him hallucinogens, and then there's these two big guys that Joker finds, and then he has them wear different Batman costumes. One is the Arkham verse, and then one is just the classic Batman costume.
Yep, it's Blockbuster and Catman.
It's just weird. And then he pretty much has them beat the shit out of Robin while he's hallucinating to make him, hate Batman. And then finally, he kills both of them.
Yeah, like it.
Classic Joker.
Yeah, absolutely classic Joker.
He just shoots both of them in the head, maybe not the head, but he shoots both of them. And then one guy's like, "Wait, what are you doing, Joker?" No, like, you don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, Harley shoots the first one.
Okay.
Because Jason gets the gun, and he says he can't.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
And then Harley did it. And at this point, this is where Harvey's telling Jason that he's the only thing protecting this town from guys like Batman. You're Arkham's knight in shining armor, kid. So,
I like that.
That's the name.
I really like it that it gives it a point of the name. And then, because like when the game first came out and you first get introduced to Arkham Knight, I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is just stupid. Like, even after we beat the game, we played the DLC, I still thought the name Arkham Knight was dumb. And now I'm finally like, okay, I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they finally put a bow on it, it felt like.
It honestly just would have been better in the game.
Yeah, I wish some of this would have just been in the game. Either in a cutscene or dialogue, something. I feel like you didn't need all this, but some of this would have been good to have to help build up, why he's the Arkham Knight, why he hates Batman. Because, I mean, really, the way that, the game doesn't really present it where this makes more sense. I think there's a comment. I can't remember the game. There's a comment saying that he was in Arkham when you're in Arkham. I don't remember.
I feel like there is.
Okay. But this really fleshes it out and makes a lot more sense of why he hated him.
Yeah.
And I think this helps the villain stand out as a better villain. Like, if I ever go back and play the game, which I won't probably, I feel like it would stand out a lot more if I was to replay this more recently.
Yeah, like this gives a motivation that the game only hints at, and really could have used more of this, because you're right, as Arkham Knight is, you just don't care. If you know it's Jason Todd, you're like, oh yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Batman let him die, fine, whatever. But it's so much worse. It is so much worse.
Yeah, it really is, because he thought he was dead, but he didn't confirm it, and it turned out he wasn't dead.
And the entire time he's getting brainwashed by the Joker and hates Batman now. Oh, boy.
And it makes sense. Like, I felt that this did such a good job in showing you why he hates him, and I I really liked it. I liked, and then he tells Harley, "You're working for me now." I really liked that too.
Brings me back to Red Hood, the movie.
Oh yeah, great movie.
Yep, you work for me now.
Good episode too. Yeah. And then you have cover 5, which I really like this cover. You have Arkham Knight on the top half holding a gun, and then Deathstroke holding a gun and they both have bullseyes kind of behind them. Like it's really cool.
The covers are very good.
Yes.
For these, and like I don't know, they're good. They're really good. You should go out. You should grab this. Like, go look for the covers. They're beautiful. They can be hung up. They're poster quality.
Yeah, I mean, it's just surprising. Like, it was kind of, it's nice reading something I had no anticipation for, or no expectations, I should say. That's the right wording.
Yeah, like but then we get to issue
5.
What? 5?
Yeah, it's a 5 with Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And the first thing you see is a rat trying to steal some pizza, and you just see a boot on the rat. Which again feels like a reference to issue 1 where he kills the rat catcher, because as Jason Todd has escaped from Arkham, and this is kind of when he sees Bruce Wayne is at I can't tell what he says. I'm assuming this has to do with Arkham City coming up, is what this is, where you see him talking about what they're going to do.
I would assume so.
It doesn't really say. It just shows him at some fundraising, spending money, and then you see that Arkham Knight. Maybe it's later than that. I mean, because there's a few years between Arkham City, I think. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, there's a little while between Asylum and City, and then City and Night.
Okay, I think there's a year between Asylum and City, though, and that's it.
I don't even know.
I can't remember anymore, and I don't care enough to figure it out. But this is where you have Jason Todd going to like of course he has like a bat cave where he has his armor on, and you see him training with Deathstroke. And I think that's cool when you see them work, like training together, and then him showing him the tanks that they're going to buy and then get more of these tanks. And I really liked all that. I thought that was cool. Oh, yes, 2 years before Arkham Asylum, so it's probably right after City, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be.
I just cannot remember when Arkham City takes place. I know it's not very long after each other. I'm looking up right now to kind of see, because I'm curious. Because he's only Batman for 13 years he's Batman for. He's not Batman for very long.
Okay. But this is where you see that Jason gets out during the whole Arkham Asylum incident.
Yeah. I'm just looking up the timeline still to kind of see when it takes place. I cannot figure it out. Okay, we'll just move on. It doesn't matter. And then you have like that flashback where you have Batman fighting the mutated Joker, and it shows that he escaped during that time, and Deathstroke was hired to kill him to clean up Joker's mess, but then since Joker's not going to get away, he offers, I'll pay you, double or triple what he's paying you. Just get me out of here. And I like that. Deathstroke's like, oh, sure, whatever. I don't care. I get paid.
Deathstroke follows the money. Respect.
I've always liked Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to see more of him in this series, because you don't get enough of him in the Arkhamverse. You get him in Origins, which I still like, and then you get him in Arkham Knight, which before reading this didn't feel right, and now it makes more sense. And I'm more okay with it now.
You get him in Blackgate too, don't you?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that was the best fight. The one where you're looking through his targeting scope.
I thought that was Deadshot.
That is Deadshot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I think he's in because he's in the first Origins. He's not in Blackgate.
Yeah. Bronze
Tiger is one of the bosses in Blackgate.
That's right. Sorry, you'll forgive me. It's way too much Arkham.
But we're done after this.
Yeah. So now that Jason Todd is out, he's got to pay Deathstroke. How is he going to pay Deathstroke? He's going to break into Wayne Enterprises and drain some of Bruce's money away.
I like that. And he puts on Deathstroke's mask so people will think he's something to do with Deathstroke and not who it actually is.
Yep. And this is essentially like it's almost like an audition.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Like he's proving that he can break in and get the money. And if he can do that, Deathstroke's probably going to be like, yeah, all right.
And I like how the current Robin shows up and gets his ass beat pretty much by the old Robin, by Jason Todd.
Oh, yeah. All right. And did you see how much money that Jason Todd stole from Bruce Wayne?
I did not. Did not pay attention.
$546,862,893.99. I don't know if that has any significance.
I don't. It's nice that, again, I like the fact that this helps put more explanation of how he was able to fund the army that he had. And I really like that.
Yeah. And the best thing is the account numbers. Bruce's Swiss account number is starts with the word cave. And cool. Apparently Deathstroke starts with the word patch.
I think that's cool.
It's funny.
That's a cool little touch. And I like, seeing Robin chase after him, and then, Robin almost gets him, but then they're able to knock him off.
Yep.
I like that. And Deathstroke doesn't give a shit about nobody. But it's good.
Is that Deathstroke is like, hey, killing Batman's partner makes things messy, and I don't like messy. And then Jason's like, if that kid dies from a fall like that, I just did Batman a favor.
I like that.
It's better. That's great.
It's good. It's really good. And then he, in the present day, he sends Deathstroke off to get him with the money that they still have in order to get more goons and buy more of those tanks, which again helps show how he funded everything in the current world, which I like that you have this. And then it just made me happy to have more things that make sense. I think I was questioning how he got all this money, how he paid for everything. I think it bothered me back then. I don't remember.
Probably. I think it bothered everybody. But hey, now we know.
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
And apparently that was just the startup money, because there were millions that came afterwards as well.
Which makes sense. I mean, you steal that much money, you either can steal more or you have enough to, invest it in other ways to get more. So with that kind of money or favors.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking money. And then we get to issue 6, and I really like this cover, the Arkham Knight standing in front of the light, holding a gun, but he looks like it's a bat with a Batman's cowl over his body.
Cape on. Oh,
that's fucking awesome. Smooth. Now that when you said cape and cowl, the first thing that popped in my head was a Batman animated series episode. Bring me the cape and the cowl.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want it? I can't tell you that. Okay. That's just what I thought of. So we'll be talking about that in a different episode that you might have already heard. Yeah, you already would have heard probably by this time, but who knows? Time paradox. So then you get to the last issue, and it shows present day, and it shows Batman in the Batmobile that we know from Arkham Knight driving off. I think I'm not sure where he's headed. I don't remember if it says.
No, it looks like he's heading into the city.
Okay. I don't think it's, is it the day for Arkham Knight? Like the day that everything happens for the game? I can't tell, because this issue jumps around a lot.
Think so.
It could be. It doesn't say. I don't think. Looking at the end of it. Oh, it doesn't matter. But it's cool to see.
I don't think it is, because...
Yeah, he's still training, it shows.
Yeah, and he's breaking into the Batcave. What's the point of breaking into the Batcave if Bruce is going to be busy in the city for the rest of the night?
Yeah. Well, he breaks into the Batcave in order to hack Bruce's system, which again makes sense to the game, because this is how he knows what Bruce is doing throughout the game, because he hacked into his system.
Yeah.
And I really like that, because I feel like in the game he knows where Bruce is, at least especially early on, he knows exactly where to expect him. And I like how it shows that he breaks into it. You see him kind of doing the hacking thing that we do in the game, and you get to see the Batcave, and you see the old Batmobile from Arkham Asylum all broken, which makes sense because Bane hits Bane. You see the Bat Jet. I really like that. I thought that was all really good. And then you have Jason Todd, Arkham Knight, see the old Robin costume in a tube.
And he did not expect that.
No, because he really believed that he was replaced by Batman, when it really came down to Batman thought he was dead and did not do very thorough research.
Yep.
Because it's Batman.
And then after this, you get another flashback going to the middle of the Arkham City event, which was a few months back.
Okay.
So this is before Arkham Knight.
Okay. And this is cool, too, to see when you see Batman fighting Clayface Joker right before that whole scene happens, and Jason Todd was there to kill him, and then he ends up fighting the Joker, kind of, and then finds out the Joker is, as sick as he thought he would be, as he didn't know. I really like this. I thought this was good. He beat the shit out of him some more, too. But the Joker still wins. And I just thought this was really cool, where the Joker makes a comment. He's like, one of us is going to die tonight. And depending on what happens, then it's, your job, essentially.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just really cool. And again, you see another scene of him being beating the shit out of all the different characters in the Arkhamverse. So it's just a really good little thing of what he did to help Jason Todd go from where he was to becoming the Arkham Knight even more.
Yeah, the best line, I think, is, if Batman sees his son tomorrow morning, that means my night was a failure. It means Arkham's legacy is no more. It means you suffered for nothing.
Yes.
Damn. That's cold. What I'm saying is, make him remember he never should have forgotten you. Oof.
And I like it how, like, another thing, and when you see him in the Batcave in the present day, he sees a picture of Batman and Jason Todd as Robin, and that kind of, like, he almost wants to break the glass, but then he knows if he does that, Batman's going to know somebody's in the Batcave.
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves, and then it's as a small scene of him talking to Deathstroke, telling him, Deathstroke's like, yeah, I'm getting these guys ready, it won't be that long, we can then do our thing. And I like that. I thought that was just good. And then you have the last page. I want to read the stuff that Arkham Knight says. He says, it'll be over soon, Gotham, and me will both be free. I was born on the street to two people who never should have had a child, and I was raised by a man who could only pretend to care about the city's future and mine. I have no guilt about my genesis. I dragged myself from death's door and withstood everything Arkham could throw at me. Batman will not be able to say the same. He'll die knowing his life had no meaning, that he was the most criminally insane of them all. Bruce will die finally knowing the truth of who he is. This is why the Arkham Knight was born. I really like that.
Even that in the game would have been better than what we got.
Yeah, I wish they would have had more of this, because this made me like, okay, I really like the Arkham Knight character. This is actually why I bought the Funko Pop for $5 out of the box. I'm like, because I was into the character after reading it.
Yeah, like the whole idea that Jason Todd is like, no, Batman's the problem now. It's not just because, I died and he didn't find me. It's that he is insane and I have to stop him. He's turned into the mirror image Batman.
And I really like it. I was surprised how good I felt it was.
And that's what bugs me. Like, this is such good characterization that it's just not in the game.
Yeah.
You're left with a subpar villain. But with this motivation, like, in hindsight, it makes him so much better.
Mm-hmm. It's really too bad that it's not here where it should be. That's not in the game. That's where it should be, and it's not in the game. And it's really not it's a bad. And I don't know if they were like, no, we want to put it in a comic because we want to cross promote and cross sell, which is what it could have been. I'm guessing is what it was, but I think it hurts it because of it. That's just really how I took it. There's also we're not reading it, but there also is a Batman Arkham Knight comic that went on for like a few issues that has some of the stuff too. So I mean, they did more. I think it's like a prequel comic or something, I'm assuming, but we're done.
I think it's not really like a prequel comic. I think it's like the story of Arkham Knight.
Oh, but in comic form?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Either way, we're done, but it's cool that I'm not sure. I see a really weird number 9 I'm looking at right now. Yeah, the official prequel to the Arkham trilogy finale. So no, it's a prequel comic.
Oh God.
We're not reading it. So we would have had to read it before we covered the game, and that ship sailed. So
nope.
And I'm done. I don't feel like it's needed anyway. Maybe I'll read it myself just out of curiosity, but I doubt it.
That's it, everybody. We did it.
Yeah, we finished the Arkhamverse, and I'm so happy to be able to say that.
It's over.
And that brings us to the shelf stacker box, and I'll go first. I'm going to put this on the shelf. I came into this with no expectations, and I had a really good time reading it. I enjoyed what it was. I was like, this is a pretty good miniseries. I just wish this would have been worked into the game, but it made me appreciate the game story that much more, and I'm really grateful for that. So it's going on the shelf, and I'm glad that we finally read it, and I'm glad that this is taken off our to-do list. So glad about that. And what about you, Ken?
It's also going on the shelf for me. I really enjoyed it. I like how, it doesn't answer all of my questions, but it answers enough of them and builds up the story of the Arkham Knight so much better than the game could even dream of doing. It makes the Arkham Knight actually better, much better, so much better. Like, I want a game from the Arkham Knight's point of view now. That's what I want.
I could be okay with that. I could definitely be okay with that. It was, who knows? We're not getting there. We're supposed to get Suicide versus Justice League. whenever the hell that comes out. And that will be the last game we'll ever see of the Arkhamverse. That's for sure. So if we ever even see that damn game at this point.
Is that even the Arkhamverse?
It's supposed to be, I think.
Yes.
But I mean, who the fuck even knows by the time it actually comes out what it's actually going to be? But yes. I mean, it's been so long. So damn long they've been working on that game. And that was, it's ridiculous. I mean, I get games take forever. I get it. But still, I think there's, at this point, like, I wonder if we were going to get that game. All right. And if you want to hear, I'm only going to read the Arkham stuff for this one because I don't feel like reading everything again. So,
oh boy.
Batman Arkham Knight DLC, Season of Infamy, Mini 24, Batman Arkham Knight, Episode 185, Batman Assault at Arkham, Film 33, Batman Arkham Origin DLC, Cold Heart, Mini 19, Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, 150, Episode 159, Batman Arkham Origins, 139, Batman Arkham City DLC, Harley Quinn's Revenge, Mini 13, Batman Arkham City 118, Batman Arkham City Comic 24, Batman Arkham Asylum, Episode 97. We did it, guys. 11 episodes all about fucking Arkham. Seriously.
And it's done. Over. I never have to hear it again.
No. We're going on to other Batman stuff now. So we're starting the we're working through I feel like we're starting the Tim Burton verse at the rate we're going. So that might be
we're getting there.
I'm okay with that because I read you other Batman stuff. I want to do more comics that are actually comic stories I should do.
Okay. Good.
So we'll figure that out later. But thank you all for listening. And go check all the rest of the Batman stuff, the Arkham stuff. We put a lot of effort into those. So go listen to all that stuff. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can support the show on our Patreon. For a little $1, you can vote in our Patreon polls. I have no idea what it will be at the time that you hear this. But definitely go check that out. We have a Discord you can join and talk with us. So please go do that. And if to find all the episodes, you can find everything on Podbean. If you can't find what you're looking for on Spotify and iTunes because they don't have our entire catalog. And also want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Helena at Hell Hasford. You can follow her on TikTok. And also want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Tucker, who started his own podcast, The Gamer Looks at 40. Definitely check him out. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube, but audio only. But we are on YouTube. And I think that's everything I need to say for tonight. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
So long, everyone. And goodbye, Arkhamverse.
Goodbye.